Let me thank you for coming. I'm joined by students and parents of Central Park East 1 and 2 in East Harlem, and they are here expressing their outrage and concern about the Department of Education not allowing to have a progressive middle school in East Harlem so that the children and students of Central Park East 1 and 2 can grow into the middle school. And in fact, they have been asking for a middle school for several years. No. And the response that they have received from the Department of Education is that there is no space. What? Really? Well, they got notified, the principal, this January, that the DOE is allowing a charter school to go into the Jackie Robinson Educational Complex where CPE 1 and 2 want to grow into a middle school. All of a sudden, there is space for a charter school, but there's no space for these parents to have for their children to go into middle school. Something is wrong with that formula. And we're going to have students and parents that are going to speak out on that. And first, we're going to hear from Isaac, who is a second grader at Central Park East 2. Isaac?
Woo! My name is Isaac Rosler. I'm in second grade at CPE 2. And our school kids get learned at their own level. But we might interview for a middle school, and we might not understand what the teacher is saying in the lesson, and we might not get help like we are used to.
Good. So let me see that, Isaac, please. So you heard what Isaac said, and he said his name is Isaac Rosenthal. He's a second grader. Come here, Isaac, please. Okay. Second grader at CPE 2, and at his school, every kid gets to learn at their own level. And when they interview for middle school, he said they may not understand what the teacher is saying in the lesson, and we may not get the help from the teachers like we are used to. They are used to having the type of educational experience where they understand their teachers, they communicate loud and clear, and there is a conversation where they are working very closely with the student. So Isaac, let me thank you on behalf of all of the children and other students at CPE 2. Thank you. You don't have to go, you can stay here. And next we're going to hear from Dominic, a parent at CPE 1. Dominic.
So I'm a resident of Harlem and a CPE 1 parent for the past 5 years. And in January, in one breath, the Department of Education announced that the junior high school 13 will be phased out and a second East Harlem Scholars Academy would move in to the Jackie Robinson Educational Complex. Meanwhile, CPE 1 and 2 communities have for the past 4 years been petitioning to the DOE to have their effective and highly sought after programs extended to the middle school years. 2 of those years being told that there was simply no space. So where was the process that led to this conclusion? East Harlem Scholars, yes, and Central Park East 1 and 2, no. This was done completely behind closed doors with a lack of transparency that's both unfair and inequitable, which in my mind is a detriment to the children of Harlem who deserve middle school choice and more middle school seats. If we define justice as fairness with a strong dose of equity, what would justice look like in this case? We have 2 venerable institutions, CPE and the East Harlem Tutorial Program, that have been working on behalf of the community for decades. And they're being put needlessly into competition with one another for school space. We're in no way against East Harlem Scholars having a successful school that provides another option for the city's children. However, justice would be served in this case if each school got what it wants and deserves, the space they need to grow. We know that there's space at Jackie Robinson for Central Park East to grow into a middle school, and we know that the East Harlem Scholars have the possibility to lease space in a neighborhood building. Justice is served if the Department of Education makes both of these things possible, instead of sowing strife between 2 school communities where there need be none. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dominic, and obviously you are speaking on behalf of all the parents that feel like you feel. Well, let me say that we're joined by staff of elected public officials that represents the area. The representative from Charles Rangel's office is here, and the representative from your council member in East Harlem, Melissa Mark Viverito, is here. They've also received support from other elected officials who have written letters supporting CPE 1 and CPE 2's request to the Department of Education to grow within that complex. And let me say this, they've said to me that they thank all of the elected officials who have stood up and supported them in their request to have a middle school in the area. And now we're going to hear from Tony, a parent from Central Park East 1. Tony?
Thank you so much, Councilman. My name is Tony Smith-Thompson. I am a graduate of a Central Park East school, and I'm also a parent of a Central Park East 1 student. I'm here today because I'm deeply concerned about the Department of Education's disregard for the growth and well-being of its own schools. Central Park East 1 and 2 are proven, successful, progressive elementary schools that have been a part of East Harlem for nearly 40 years. Every year, our schools get many more applications than we have available seats. For 4 years, our schools have applied to expand our schools to provide a progressive middle school option in East Harlem. Each time we were denied by the Department of Education. Last April, the DOE told us that although we are a great program, there simply was not space available in District 4 for us to expand. And they told us that they would let us know when circumstances changed. Then, without notifying us, when space became available in our own buildings, the DOE gave it to a new, untested charter school. This charter school plans to grow to become a 700-student school. The DOE's proposal to co-locate this school in our building will add hundreds of additional students to a building that is already stretched for space and resources. And it's unnecessary. There is a solution that will allow all of our schools to flourish. East Harlem Scholars Academy has access to private real estate, and they have demonstrated that they have the financial resources to secure and maintain a private school space. We do not have that option, nor do any of the other DOE schools that are being pushed aside and pushed out to make room for charter schools. As a parent, I do appreciate having different educational models to choose from for my children. But the existence of one model does not need to be at the expense of another. We are not opposing the existence of charter schools. We are opposing the DOE's lack of transparency over decisions that have real and immediate implications over our children's education. We are opposing the DOE's practice of playing favorites and neglecting the needs of its own schools and its own students. We are opposing the DOE's proposal to co-locate East Harlem Scholars Academy 2 in the Jackie Robinson complex. And we are calling for them to withdraw it now. It's not equal, and it's not right. Our kids deserve better, and New York deserves better. Thank you.
Enough is enough! We need our space to grow! Enough is enough! We need our space to grow! Enough is enough! We need our space to grow! Enough is enough! We need our space to grow! Thank you. Now, next we're going to hear from Cindy, a parent from CPE 1. Cindy?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Cindy Chow. I have a child at CPE 1. The Department of Ed is proposing the co-location of 2 charter schools in the Jackie Robinson Educational Complex. That would mean a total of 5 schools in one building. I would like to voice my concern about how this proposal will create overcrowding. East Harlem Scholars 1 and 2 will grow to be K-12 schools with 726 students each. It is clearly stated in the proposal and on their websites. According to the educational impact statement, this building is at capacity at just over 1,000 students. The numbers do not add up. There's just not enough space in the building. Already in the DOE's proposed plans for next year, students will eat lunch at 10 a.m. CPE's outdoor time of 16 hours a week will be cut to 5 hours, just 1 hour a day for the whole school. And for that 1 hour, 30 minutes of that will be shared with the 2 other charter schools. That's close to 500 students sharing outdoor space. That's unacceptable and unsafe, to say the least. In addition, East Harlem Scholars Charter proposal states they have, and I quote, identified an alternate plan should space in District 4 not materialize. The space is in a former Catholic school in East Harlem. The charter is in its final stages of negotiation to lease this building. If necessary, this building could house the school. I repeat, this building could house their school. They have a building they could use.